welcome back to Inside the Actress's Studio Apartment. I am world-famous actress Lesley-Anne Hoxie. Thank you. My guest today is a very special one. I have Supervisor Stacey Corless.
Hi, Lesley-Anne. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Oh, thank you so much for joining me. So, as some people might know, you have experience as an actress here in Mono County. How have your acting skills helped your political craft?
Well, one thing I've learned to do is smile like this, even though I might be really pissed off about something.
Yes. Oh, I see.
Yes. I didn't really read that in, an actor prepares, but it's a skill that I've learned on stage that maybe somebody misses a cue and it really makes you mad, but you're trying to think where you can pick up and keep the scene going. And so you just keep smiling like this, maybe, or whatever it is. It's a really good skill. No, but acting does come in quite handy in politics in general.
Yes. Do you ever feel the need to call line when you are in a meeting?
Yes, all the time. And unfortunately, my colleagues lack theater training and acting training, so they don't know what I'm talking about. And I've tried to keep the concept of yes and going and the basic construct of improvisational theater. It really helps. So sometimes I'll just throw out well, if we pave these 5 roads, it'll cost $1.2 million. Yes, and if we pave these 7 roads, it would be $5 million more.
Is that why those meetings last so long? Because everyone's yes-anding.
Yeah, it's like a kind of a bad scene that won't end. Sometimes. Yes. Sometimes not. Sometimes it works.
True. So you once played a squirrel in one of the murder mysteries. Did that help shape your opinion on environmental policies in any way?
Absolutely. In my preparation for that role, I really tried to go inside the squirrel. I spent a lot of time out in the woods behind my house, just sitting quietly and sometimes scampering around really fast and running out into the street. Just what does it feel like to be the squirrel? And so from that little rodent's perspective, I gained a lot of insight about how we need to take care of our little piece of the woods here in Mammoth Lakes and Mono County and the planet.
Oh, beautiful. Yes.
Yeah. And I didn't get run over.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. I popped back just in time.
Yeah.
As squirrels do.
Exactly. So does your dog know that you're a Mono County Supervisor?
Well, she's right here. The dog. No, I'm really just the lady. Hey lady, feed me. Hey lady, let's go on a walk. Hey lady, stop staring into the little screen with the other little people in there and pay attention to me.
Yes, and speaking of that, everyone's doing everything on Zoom now and on these video conferences. Do you think that's a skill that you're going to end up losing, that's going to go to waste when this is when we all maybe return to normal someday?
I hope I'll be able to keep it up, but I gotta say I'm looking forward to actually being able to just give someone some good old-fashioned side eye instead of trying to look into their Zoom square and yeah.
Yes, they don't always know which one that you're trying to give that look to.
So then again, the face, the smile, you're doing the smile, but you're typing privately in the chat box, will you please pay attention and help me out here, or whatever the message may be to your colleagues. Yeah.
Yes. So, why be a supervisor? Why not superhero?
You know, I never thought of it, and now I'm really considering a career change.
Yeah,
Um,
gain
but
some of those superpowers.
well, I think if endurance of really, really long meetings and learning an astounding number of acronyms could be counted as a superpower, I think I've got it.
Yes, you have the super vision, I guess, in a sense. Uh, yeah. Hmm.
No, I think, acronym woman, maybe, I don't know. I mean, you could just, you know, stun people with a number of acronyms, you know,
Mhm.
the BLM, CDBG, AYSO, just go until the villain is stunned, you know,
Right.
and you're able to, lasso them with your, you know what you do, and I don't have it here because I'm at home. I have to go get a meat mallet, but I'm the chair of the board of supervisors. I do have a gavel, so I could, knock him on the head with a gavel and get the bad guy out of there. I feel like I could cobble together some superpowers.
Oh
We're all
yeah.
good at that in stay at home. Like again, improvising always comes back to our acting training, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, and you're
Yes. Yeah.
absolutely correct. Well, I like to finish out my interview by asking a series of questions uh, to everyone. So my first question is, what is your favorite thing that has happened in quarantine?
I feel, especially here in the town of Mammoth Lakes and Mono County, we've all really been, even though we can't be physically together and physically present, a number of people have been able to bond over wine tastings that have become a regular part of our evenings here in Mono County. Unfortunately, I have a lot of government meetings I have to partake in, and so far I haven't mixed in the wine tasting with the government. That could have disastrous results, and could, result in some sort of recall petition. So I've avoided that. But pretty much every night of the week, some wonderful restaurant or wine or beer distributor is hosting a wine tasting, and you can learn about wines from around the world, have those wines delivered to your home,
Mm-hmm.
and see your friends and neighbors that you haven't gotten to see for a few weeks, and have a nice glass of wine, which some of us desperately need
Yes.
after a full day of Zoom meetings.
Yes, I would agree. I think that it's amazing how many wine tastings there are out there. And the nice thing is you don't have to drive home afterwards.
That's right. We're safer because of that. So that might be something that we should stick with, so that, people are drinking 2 bottles of wine each, and then, yeah. Although
Mm-hmm.
we do have taxi companies here in town that probably will need our help when this is all over.
Yes, yes. So what
And
is
they
your
can
least,
wine, so,
oh, yeah.
yeah.
So what's your least favorite thing that has happened in quarantine?
Well,
Got to give a political answer.
no, this is kind of a boring answer, but it's honest. I'm an extrovert. I think many of us in theater might be. Maybe we like attention and we like other people. And so that's been really hard. I know it's hard for all of us being in isolation, and maybe it's a little more intangible if at first you're kind of relieved to not be around other people. But I miss other people. I'm truly, I've done all those personality tests, and it's like 100% extrovert. So not being around other people, getting the energy from other people, like we do when we're on stage, that's been really hard.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. So what noise or sound do you miss the most?
I miss just the background noise of being in the restaurant, like the everything
Mm.
clinking together, and like if you're again, going back to like the peas and carrots, the background noise, and you're in the restaurant again, maybe, and you'd be having your glass of wine and food that someone else made for you, and it is presented on a beautiful plate, and that you're using like real utensils and talking to people at your table and maybe waving, oh, hey, Lesley-Anne, how's it going? Nice to see you. All that kind of stuff. The restaurant-y, bar-y stuff, noises.
Yeah. And what noise or sound do you miss the least?
That's tougher. I'm trying, I can't quite put maybe the sound, to stay in like the same context, maybe the sound of somebody like in a table next to you chewing really loudly, because that's disgusting. But everything else is kind of nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the swear word you have used the most in quarantine?
As an elected official on Zoom, one has to be extremely careful to not use swear words on Zoom, because it could end poorly, because you could think that you're muted and you're not. That I'm just saying that may or may not actually happen, but you got to be really careful. So, I try to. So what I'm doing. My grandmother used to have some really great non-swear words, like Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. So trying to keep it to things like that. Ye gods and little fishes.
Ye gods and little fishes?
Gods and little fishes. I don't know what that means, but just try it. Ye gods and little fishes. Well, And again, you got to go back. You gotta say it, but you're like this. Gods and little fishes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
really, in your mind, you're thinking, are you fucking kidding me? But you can't say that. You can't really even think it that much. So you got to say, ye gods and little fishes.
So if this all results into a zombie apocalypse, what profession would you most like to have?
I've pondered the whole zombie apocalypse phenomenon. I'm not a big fan of the genre, the film genre. I gotta say, I get it, but I'm just not. Right now I'm pretty tired and I could use a break. I might just be a zombie.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sorry if that seems like giving up, but somebody's got to do it. And that might be a really good one. I don't know. It's difficult to say, but
I like it.
I'm going with zombie.
All right. And then what profession would you be the least suitable for in a zombie apocalypse?
Well, Lesley-Anne, I really am a pacifist. So I wouldn't be good. I have friends, good friends, but friends who like guns and, shooting things, not people, just things.
Yeah.
And that's fine, I suppose, for them. But again, being a pacifist at heart, again, after the whole squirrel thing, it really changed my perspective. I don't like guns. I don't like violence. So the worst, the worst thing probably I wouldn't be like a good leader of the zombie killers. Because again, I'm going to be the zombie. So,
There you go.
I'm sorry to cop out, but again, some people are zombies. Some people are zombie hunters.
Exactly. Right? You got to have both. Otherwise, one does not exist without the other. It's very cool.
Also, I kind of grew up doing the Thriller dance, Michael Jackson Thriller. So I feel like I've got the moves too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. If an end to the pandemic exists, what do you hope is the first thing someone says to you when you finally head back out in the world?
Well, I hope I'm sitting there in the beautiful restaurant and someone says, "Here, Stacey, here's your beautiful meal and your nice glass of wine."
I've had dreams about that. It's a nice one. Well, do you have anything that you want to plug for our audience before we go?
Well, I just want to thank you for interviewing me, and I want to thank you as part of Sierra Classic Theater for providing us this wonderful quarantainment that you're doing, and for keeping the arts and culture alive even in this tough time. And so I look forward to the next Sierra Classic Theater production. I mean, I hope it doesn't have to happen on Zoom, but if it does, I'll be there, and I might audition. So
Perfect.
thank you, Sierra Classic Theater.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Stacey, and thank you, Sierra Classic Theater, for giving us these opportunities and giving me this opportunity to present my show. Well, I hope you all enjoy tonight's performance, and I will see you all next week.